Hello, friends, and welcome to Noclip headquarters here in beautiful, sunny Oakland, California. So it's been a month since we launched the Patreon. It was September 12th, and now it's October 11th, and the Patreon's obviously done incredibly well, better than I was expecting, and it's running sort of stable right now under about 3,000 patrons. And I just wanted to do an update, now, not just for the patrons, because I talk a lot on the Patreon feed and on our Discord and stuff, and with Q&As and all that sort of stuff with those folks. But I wanted to talk not just with them, but with the subscribers here on my YouTube channel, subscribers on the Noclip channel, and obviously just people who follow me on Twitter and whatnot, about what's going on, about the crazy month it's been, where the project is, what's been going on, what the money's been spent on, and what's coming up in the future. Because obviously I want to be totally transparent with this whole thing as possible. I take this project incredibly seriously. It's my life's work, and also a lot of exciting stuff's happening, and I want sort of to throw out a real broad message about that right now. So first of all, let's talk about the project. So the first documentary, we are shooting it in less than a week. We're shooting it in 5 days' time. Myself and Jeremy are flying somewhere for a couple of days. We're going to be interviewing a team about something. About a video game, I might as well say it. And we are going to have those documentaries out by the end of the month. It's probably just going to be 2 core ones. There may be a third. It all depends on how everything goes. You can't, we're going to make sure that whatever is done is going to be dense enough to warrant a video. So it's either going to be 2 or 3. We're going to have a behind the scenes video for the patrons. We're going to have extended cuts for the patrons ahead of time, and then for everyone else after the fact, and deleted scenes and all that sort of stuff as well. Those projects, like I said, October, they'll be out. We're shooting a bunch of stuff here as well, stand-ups and whatnot, to make it really pop. And we've got some really insane stuff set up in terms of that shoot. Actually, it's the whole idea of that first documentary is to make people go, "Whoa, what? Like, this is video game coverage?" So I'm really hoping that that people respond to it well and that we can pull it off. So I'm feeling good about that. So that's the first documentary. Like I said, we're ramping up to get it into a situation where I've got a documentary every month. The amount of conversations we're having at the moment is quite insane. I spend easily 50% of my working day on the phone or answering emails or meeting people face to face, and I'm going on loads of trips. I went on a trip last week, and I'm going on more trips around America in the next 2 weeks, and a lot of those are a lot of the days that I'm doing those are also involve talking to people face to face, and talking to people over Skype. And when I say that, I mean the developers of some of the biggest games ever, individuals who play video games in weird parts of the world, individuals who play games here in North America but have interesting stories to tell, and games that have come out not that long ago as well. And I'd love to be able to talk more about the specifics of this stuff, but the nature of it is that you can't. And a lot of the time, we're doing something really unique here. We're creating really curated, important videos about these games. And the people, when we're talking to them about this, they kind of get that and they want to do it properly, which is really amazing. So it's a type of thing where I probably will not be ever talking about projects unless there's like special cases where we definitely will, where it's like a travel project, for instance. But before that, I won't be able to like say what the projects are until we're basically filming them. So next week, for instance, when we're filming the first documentary, Doc 1, I will be tweeting all about that and whatnot, and then the docs will come after the fact. But I just want to let people know, first one, we're filming next week. We're going to have the videos up, and the project, the whole thing up in the weeks following that by the end of October. And we're already working on what we're doing in November and December, where we're flying and what we're doing and all that. So it's going really good. So thank you so much. And I wish I could talk more about this stuff because it's so fucking exciting. It's just me talking to my wife about, "You'll never guess who emailed me." And I tell her, and she's like, "Who? Fucking never heard of blah, 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 blah." So anyway, I'll get to that eventually. So what else is going on? What have we been spending the money on, for instance? I've gotten like 20,000 almost a month in patronage so far. Long may it continue. Thank you so much to everyone who's contributed. We're spending the money. It's going to it's being spent in the right way, and it's definitely like changed my perspective on this. It's allowed me to invest more in stuff that'll save us money in the long term. It's allowed me to be a lot more adventurous when it comes to where we're flying and what we're doing, and where I might fly on my own, or where the stories will tell how far we go. So, number one, we've obviously spent money on the first dock in terms of hiring people and equipment and renting a place to stay and flights and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of fun shit like toys, this is a Sony A7S Mark II, which is a full-frame 4K video machine. Shoots in super low light, nice and handy. I've got a tasty lens on it as well here. One of those sexy Carl Zeiss lenses that they've made specially for it, a 2470, which you can see down into there. Looks great. Listen to the sound of this beast. I'm just gonna, look at that. Look at that. Looks delicious. Taking photographs of another Sony camera. I'm such a Sony fanboy, clearly. Hero's trying to have a go on the racing wheel. So this is a great little camera, super powerful, which shoots 4K, which we did not have in the C100. Not the only 4K camera I've bought, so we'll get to those in a second. Although definitely the biggest, which is surprising probably. So this is going to allow us not only to do two-person shoots, shooting 4K, it also will allow me to shoot when I'm on vacation or when I'm going on trips places, which I don't work enough at the moment apparently that I want to turn my vacations into shooting things as well. And I've been doing like behind the scenes stuff on my little Sony NEX 3N. But this is a fucking camera which shoots documentary style footage. So when I'm off to Europe, for instance, at Christmas to see my family and hang out with them, I'll be taking this and I'll be shooting some cool stuff, and you'll learn about all that later. So that's great. That allows us way more sort of variability within the two-person shoots, and also allows me to shoot stuff without requiring a camera up all the time, which is going to happen every now and again. So this is a super piece of kit, which I was very happy to invest in. And thank you so much to everyone who helped me sort of figure out exactly what I needed in that respect. Another camera I bought around the same time, actually the same day I bought that, I went to Best Buy to get them because they actually had good deals. The guy handed it to me in a blue plastic bag, like a see-through bag. And I was like, it's costs as much as like a small car. And he said, "You want a double bagged?" I was like, sure, thanks, bro. Anyway, it's a good thing that we're driving there, so it didn't get mugged on the way home. This is a GoPro Hero 5 Black, which is the sort of the topper end of the two ones that came out. There's a Session which is smaller than this, costs about $100 less, but this is a really good one. Shoots 4K, shoots high speed, goes to 240 and 720, does 120 and 1080, and shoots 60 frames in 4K, and it's super useful to shoot some nice stuff, and it's also super useful to stick it onto stuff, which we're going to be doing in Dock 1 as it happens. So very happy to have this. Also, if we ever want to shoot underwater, this guy works up to something crazy like 35 feet, I think. So that's really cool. The other thing that we have invested in as well, which I do not have here, I'm still waiting to get, is the DJI Mavic Pro, which is the new drone by the folks who made the Phantom, which you might remember me and Andy used in the Witcher 3 videos we did over at GameSpot. That was a drone that we rented, which costs a lot of money to rent. The Mavic Pro retails at $1,000, and we own it now. So that's cost effective and also allows us to shoot some really awesome stuff. A large part of Noclip is going to be flying to interesting parts of the world and showing them to you, and showing the games that are coming out of those places, or showing parts of the world that inspired games and stuff like that. Having a drone allowing us to like get those broad shots of cityscapes and mountains and whatnot is really going to help us a lot. It's also incredibly small and portable. It's like that big. It's got its profile is probably about like the size of like two hands stuck to like a hand and a half probably. Which means that when I fly around the place and when I'm on my vacation, not working, I can shoot cool drone shit as well, and we can use that. We're going to be doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff with that as well, which is going to be good fun. So that's kind of what we've invested in. Mostly there's other stuff. There's like light stands and refractors and, power cables and audio cables and every other type of cable. If you're watching the YouTube channel, I invested in a FrameMeister, which is allowing us to capture really high quality retro gaming footage. It's like it's the way of getting the best retro games footage, and we're going to do retro games docs, so we need to get the best footage. So we have one of those. I've obviously had the N64, which I'm doing all the streams on and whatnot. I've also been spending money on other things like motion graphics and styling and whatnot. So the new version of my old show, which was called The Point on GameSpot, the new one, which will hopefully be out very, very soon, the first episode. All that stuff getting done as well. And then also just trying to do as much of that as I can. I'm incredibly spread thin at the moment. And part of me is like sort of thinking, I hope everyone knows how much work's going on at the moment. Is that like, you know, you may not be into the N64 stuff, you may not be into the op-ed show, you may not be into the docs, but hopefully there's something for everyone. And I'm really working my ass off to make sure that all of the trust and all of the patronage that has been put into Noclip is delivered upon. And I am more than happy to answer any questions about it in the comments below. Daniel Dwyer on Twitter. If you're a patron, hit me a DM. I respond, if not that same day, the next day. What people want out of this is super important to me, and I want people to know. What was most important to me when I started this is that I set expectations high, and then we beat them. That I want people to think that we're going to change games coverage, and then even then I want them to think, oh yeah, you really did it. And it's really hard with a small crew. I'm basically just on my own, and then Jeremy is helping a lot on the shoots and helping a lot with all the video stuff. But in terms of like running the company and doing everything else, I'm kind of on my own. So I'm very much looking forward to next week, where I can tell you what the first documentary is about. And I'm looking forward to November, when we can have one behind us already and be looking forward to the next one. The stuff that we're going to cover is amazing. It's games that there would never have been documentaries about, that we love, games we talk about when we say the best games ever made. And I'm so happy, not only for, you know, the gaming community that you folks have like bought into this and said, yeah, we want this, but also from the developing community and from PR, who have been like, frankly, way more into this than I was expecting. Everyone's being so supportive, giving me the time of day. Even if they can't talk about games, they're like, hey, let's do it in 6 months. Or some of them are saying like, look, we're not really sure about this, it's kind of different, it's not really what most outlets do, but we'll give it a shot. And then a lot of other people saying like, yeah, we watched your stuff in the past and hope you'd sent an email. So it's been amazing, and I'm so happy for all the support, and I can't wait to reward it with amazing game documentaries. So that's it. I guess that's the first update on Noclip Month 1. Doc 1's coming up in a week. We have plans for all the other ones coming up over the next rest of 2016 and onward into 2017. We've invested in good stuff. We've still got a bunch more in saving, which we're going to be using over the next couple of months. Thank you so much for all the patronage. Please keep it coming. Patreon.com/Danny Dwyer if you want in on this. There's loads of awesome behind the scenes stuff. There's dozens of posts and videos. There's videos on there, and the Discord and everything going on the Patreon feeds. There's loads of stuff there behind the scenes content if you want to get in on that and support what I'm trying to do. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to enjoy my bubble water now and play a racing game with Hero Cat. Bye!